Yeah.
All right, guys, what is up? We got Dirty Mike and Cobbs Creek Beef back with another podcast here, 4th and 26 Philly Sports. We had a pretty big weekend here with Philly Sports. We got the Sixers finishing off the Nets in 4 games. We got the Phillies putting together a little bit of a win streak. Let's talk about the Phils to start. Foods. We always give a lot of love to the Sixers, and well deserved. But they definitely took care of business. What we expected them to do. We do have some Embiid injury concerns we can kind of dive into a little bit, but. The Phillies look like they've kind of righted the ship a little bit after a pretty rocky start. I believe they're 12-13 at this point. Is that or 11-12?
Yeah, I think they're almost at 500, and they also had a four-game series too, but they didn't sweep they, I think Strom got shelled that first night. It was 5-0, but he was doing great, so I didn't mind. They came back, they won, the next three, and now I think they got interleague. I guess they got the Mariners, and then they come here, and then we got to go to Houston this
Houston.
weekend.
Uh,
Houston.
Houston. All right, so the Phillies are 11-12 and only 2 games back of the third wild card spot.
Third,
So
yeah, third.
obviously it's super early. We don't
Oh
need to
yeah,
be looking at that shit. Right now. But again, like what we were talking about, they got to be hovering, at 500 or a little bit above. To have a shot when people come back. But it's looking like Bryce is going to be coming back a lot earlier than expected. I'm hearing he may be coming back next month.
yeah. They're talking about him. The biggest thing for him is sliding,
Right.
stealing, sliding, getting back to first on pickoffs. That's what they're most concerned about. Hitting is, routine. They probably won't play him in the field anyway for a
Right.
while. But it's all. I mean, he gets on. He's going to have to run. Obviously, he might not. If they get him in a steal situation, maybe they will because he's still got some speed. It's not like he's slow, but I mean, I don't think they really have to watch him in the base pads,
Yeah.
collisions,
Yeah.
anything.
You
Dudes.
know what it really is, and it's something you can't even prepare for. Bryce plays very hard.
Sure.
He plays hard. So, he's not thinking about that kind of stuff, but he just goes, full speed ahead. And, he's going to put himself in some positions, but I think that's relative. I'd like to say that that's relatively low impact and it's not like collision based, but we saw what happened to Reese
McCutcheon, yeah.
Hoskins. So I mean,
Well, what
anything.
about McCutcheon like 2 years ago when he was on the base path and he tore his ACL? I mean, anything can happen, Foods.
Right, right. And you would worry about this injury maybe a little bit more if it was like a lower body injury, but it's his elbow. So,
Right,
that's not going to come into play quite as much.
right.
I would think maybe, at this point you would kind of keep him from maybe stealing a whole bunch, but
That's what I'm saying.
maybe not
Yeah,
taking like so
pickoffs.
yeah, exactly. Not taking so big of leads that he has to dive back, just at first, but he'll if you're playing, you gotta be sliding. So once he kind of gets approved for that, I look to get him some at bats in the minor leagues. It's hard. It's hard to go from zero all the way back to ready to play in the MLB. So I look for it to take probably 3 weeks from the time he starts, taking batting in, playing for single A or double A if he goes down to Clearwater in his play. And I think it's probably going to take him a little bit of time to get in game shape for sure.
Well, this is his preseason right now. This is his
Right.
spring training. Like what he's doing now. If he can get back by June-ish,
Yeah, even
I'm
if he's back
fine
by
with that.
June. Because the
Yeah,
original estimates were like the end of like
July.
July or August. So,
Yeah, possibly August. Yeah, so if he can get in here before the summer starts, Foods, I'm fine with that. No
yeah, I'm okay
problem.
with that too.
Yeah,
And
especially the
then
way they're playing now.
yeah, and keep him out of the field, keep him DHing, and then possibly when the playoffs start, if Reese gets to the point to where he can take at bats as a DH and just get a pinch or run for every time, then you can maybe put Bryce in the field, towards the end of the season or beginning of playoffs. Because I mean, I think it'll probably be a good 5 to almost 6 months by the time Reese got injured to the time if they make the playoffs. So, I would think he could pinch hit or, possibly, at that point.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean
I'm wrong.
6 or 7 months. Yeah, you're about right.
Yeah, I mean, he
So
would be playing the field, just pinch hitting, come up in a big, situation, have him on the roster, and put Bryce out in the field. After he gets in, 3 months or 4 months of DHing, and he can start, maybe work his way back into the field or first base. I think Bryce is going to eventually transition to first base.
it's very possible Tomei did it. I mean, there were a couple other players. You know, they got the young guys coming up anyway, so they're going to have to be in their special spots. You got Stott, all those guys that are specialized and keep them where they are. Don't fuck around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep the formula going. Obviously, they can, since Bryce is a lefty, first base is so natural. So
Yeah, exactly. How about How about our boy Mr. Marsh batting 364?
He's looking great. Everyone's really finally putting some lumber out there. Clemens, people are contributing. You're getting some great defense with Sosa. Some of those other guys, they're even the pitchers are contributing. Real Muto is like actually doing well. He's really captaining the ship out there on the field. It's nice to see that. Even Castellanos is contributing. Hitting some dingers. Everyone loves dingers.
Everyone does. Well, look at this. I mean, Marsh is hitting 364, Stott's hitting 340, Sosa's hitting 317, Castellanos is hitting 307, Bohm's hitting 302, Trey Turner's hitting 293, Real Muto's hitting 247, but we know that's going to come up. He's too good of a player to be in like the 240s. He'll get up into the 270s, 280s, 290s by the end of the season.
Yeah.
So as a team, though, we're batting 276, which is that's actually very high.
To start the season, it's not bad at all. You're right. I definitely think there's room to improve. I think Real Muto's head is right now wrapped up with the pitchers and the timing at the moment.
And that's fine. And that's fine.
Yeah.
We don't need him to be doing that necessarily.
Right. He'll elevate his game soon, yeah.
But it's the pitching, Foods. The pitching's going to be our downfall this year unless we can.
Wheeler was dealing today, Doc. I don't know if you saw. He only gave up those couple runs. I mean, he had that perfect inning in the third where he didn't have one walk. Not one walk.
That's great.
Great. I mean, he was looking great. Yeah, like I said, that only real problem we had was what's his face on Thursday or Friday, I forget. So. Strom, I think that was he got shelled. It was 5-0. Bellotti came in. Bellotti got injured. I think he tweaked something. So, but that's all right because Thursday or Friday and Saturday it was the same score. We came back on Friday. We won 4-3. 4-3 on Saturday. Today we got 9 up on the nice little round number up there.
We're hitting, man. We are hitting, and it's surprising for so early in the season. But you're in trouble when your starting pitcher, the leading starting pitcher, is Falter with a 4.50 ERA. I mean, we got some pretty big ERAs here. Falter a 4.50, Wheeler a 4.73, Kimbrel a 5.0, Nola 5.4, Bellotti 6.23, Dominguez 8.31. I mean there's some high ERAs, Foods.
Yeah, I hear you, but I'll tell you what, Kimbrel got the save. Alvarado came in the other night.
Alvarado's looking real good. He has 20 strikeouts already with a .87 ERA.
He's on fire. So, I guess Brogdon. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple other, like I said, luckily the hitting is making up for some of the pitching, but they're getting some defense behind him. And again, the pitch clock, he's still getting in Nola's head. He was doing okay. I told you about Wheeler. Hopefully Ranger will be back soon. As long as they can keep holding there and just keep working. I don't want to go too deep. You got to go into the bullpen too early. They got to go longer.
Yeah. That's an issue. I mean, God, it seems like it seems like it's almost impossible for a Phillies pitcher to get out of the 5th inning.
Yeah, it's one of their problems, and I think it's knowing that they got decent mid, and some great relief. Like I think, like I said, you just don't want to go to there too frequently.
Yeah.
Topper knows that. Luckily, he's able to rely on some of that good offense that's finally starting to come back. Foods, some
It looks great.
slugging.
Yeah, it looks great because, last year, we know they relied on the long ball and, they just weren't putting up many runs, if they weren't hitting home runs. And that's what, killed us in the playoffs. But it looks like, they're doing it this year they're hitting. They are all hitting.
Yeah,
It's
we and
great to see.
now we're done with Cincinnati, so we don't see them anymore. We haven't had any divisional games, and now that we're doing interleague for this next week or so, like this is the time to make some meat up for to get some good meaty, like get on the good side of the wall at 500.
Yeah, got to earn your meat.
Absolutely. So do it now. Plus, I want Houston. I do want a piece of them, Houston.
All right.
Houston.
So we got a 3-game series with the Mariners.
Yeah, they're coming here.
Yes.
We're not going there. They're coming here. Yeah.
And then we go to Houston for 3 games right after that. Then we go to the Dodgers for 3 games.
Yeah, keep going west. Yeah.
And then we have 3 games at home with the Red Sox, a 2-game set with the Blue Jays, and then we're back to just regular National League play. But and then we'll start our. It looks like towards the end of May, we'll start with a lot more divisional matchups.
Yeah,
we got a lot in a row then.
Yeah, the only thing I think we had so far was what, Miami, maybe.
Yeah, we had a Miami one.
That was it. Other than that, we haven't had any Atlanta, who's been killing it. The Braves have been killing it. I mean, Mets, whatever. Well, goddamn Mets.
Yeah, fuck the Mets.
Yeah, I know. So, but the Braves, will have to worry about them. Nationals, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, we're 3.5 games behind the Braves.
Right. Atlanta.
Yeah, sitting in 4th place. Miami's playing pretty well at 12-10. The Mets are pretty good at 14-8, and the Braves are 14-9, and the Braves are 14-8. So we have a strong division. We have a strong division this year for sure.
That's why we got to make some of this meet up net. Like I said, like right here in the good, thick, nice, husky part, especially against the Mariners, for God's sakes. What's their record now that you got that up there, Food? They're probably right around.
They're about the same as us. They're 10 and 12.
500.
Yeah, they're 10 and 12, so they're pretty similar to us. Houston's only 12-10, so Houston's not killing it this year by any means so far, but they'll make it up for sure. But not too bad. The surprise: Pittsburgh Pirates are 16-7.
Yeah, saw that. Good for them. Don't worry, we'll get a piece of them.
Yeah, absolutely. But things are definitely looking up for the Phillies. After the slow start, they're starting to string together some wins, and everybody was panicking when they didn't when they got swept in the first series, and you forget it only takes a week to bring it back. Maybe you're 4, 5, 6 games under 500 and looking terrible, and then you reel off 4 or 5 in a row, and you're right back in it. So it's a long season.
Especially if you just win series. I mean, that's really the key. So
yeah, it is. So definitely things are looking up for the Phillies. We could turn our attention. We're going to have a little bit of time off. We got about a week off before we're going to most likely see the Celtics with the Sixers. They won tonight. They go up 3-1, looking to close it out in Game 5 back in Boston, and they typically close out those type of games. So we'll probably have about a week's rest or a little bit more before we have to face them. What are you hearing about Embiid and his injury?
We saw some of the Doc interview that they had, his little press conference, talking about how it's possible that the injury might be more behind the knee, which kind of sucks. That's not really good. I'm glad he didn't play that last game, and they won. I mean, after the drama from Game 3, keep him out. Like, I don't want any issues. I mean, he got flagrant fouls. He got knocked to the deck. Like, keep him out. Like, let's just get him ready for the next series, get him ready for the semis, and then hopefully, I mean, like I said, you said Boston, they're leading that series, but I mean, the Bucks aren't leading theirs. Miami's leading that one.
Yeah.
The Knicks are taking care of Cleveland. I mean, things are open. If we could just
If
get
we can get past Boston, we could end up going against Miami in the and they're not at full strength either. Tyler Hero's out for the playoffs. Jimmy Butler got banged up last game pretty bad.
yeah, I could see that one possibly going to 7, but even if the Bucks do come back.
Yeah, that's a great
So
series.
I mean, nothing's for free in this, in our specific conference. And then in the West, I mean, I don't know if you file anything,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice. A lot of those are like, Kings. I think they got either Clippers or the Warriors. I think it might be the Warriors. And then, there's Nuggets are out there.
The Nuggets are looking good. They're up 3-0. It's
and then what's its fate? And then the Suns.
The Warriors tied it up 2-2 today.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one I saw.
Yeah, the Nuggets are losing right now, but if they lose this game, they'll be up 3-1 still. New York's up 3-1. They're probably going to finish off the series. They
got a stranglehold on that one.
And Phoenix is going to take them. Kawhi is out. Paul George is out. They're not going to come back with that one. So it's wide open right now, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I don't fear anybody in the West. That's just got to get through Boston.
Phoenix is tough. Phoenix is going to be there. I think Phoenix is going to come out of the West, honestly.
You think it'd be Phoenix and Denver?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Phoenix and Denver in the conference finals, and I definitely think Phoenix has the better team. I think Phoenix is going to be in the finals, and if we can get past the Celtics next round, there's no reason why we can't make it to the finals and have a shot.
That's what I'm doing. Sweeping the Nets was great. We were talking about this earlier. Last time they had a sweep in the actually, last time a sweep in general was like 30 years ago. Like, what was that, like 91, something like that?
That was the last 4-game sweep, I think. I think we had a sweep in 2001, but it was only like a 3-game because it was a best-of-5 series back then, which I think they should do. I don't think the first round should be a best-of-7 series because most of the time it's just mismatches. And it kind of gives the underdog team a chance, maybe. In a best-of-7 series, I'd say 98 out of 100 times, the better team's going to probably win. But
you see that in basketball, yeah.
Yeah, but if you shorten that to a best of 5, sometimes you can maybe steal a series there. And the NBA playoffs are too goddamn long. Foods they're like 2 months long. It's ridiculous, honestly.
Oh yeah, it's a whole nother season practically. You won't see the end of the actual NBA finals into the end of June. I mean,
like
we got
June. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's over 2 months long. It's absolutely crazy. Each series takes like 2 weeks or more. It's way too long. So I definitely think the first series, I would even be okay with the first round being a best of 3, the second round being a best of 5, and then the conference finals and the finals being a best of 7.
Being up to 7.
I think that would add a little bit of excitement to it, make every game a little bit, more important than that slog of a best-of-7 series. Because honestly, in the first round, the 8 seed's always going to lose pretty much most of the time to the 1. I know right now, Giannis is hurt and they're down 2-1, but I'd like to see the first round be shortened a little bit, though.
I think the only thing with that is I think the NBA wouldn't want to give up that revenue for those games.
Never. Never. They absolutely never would. But for a fan's point of view, I'd like to see it shortened a little bit. But so, do you think that there's a fire behind this smoke with Embiid, or do you think they're just kind of playing a coy and just kind of getting him some rest? Because everybody's banged up at this point in the season, honestly. Especially as much as Embiid's flopping on the ground like a fish. He's always on the ground, so he's definitely banged up. Everybody's banged up this time of the year.
Well, look at it this way. I look at it 2 ways, Foods, because I think that after he had that issue in Game 3, possibly ejected, Harden got ejected.
He should have been ejected. I don't know how he didn't get ejected from that. He absolutely should have been ejected.
And I'm glad he didn't, and I'm glad that he showed a little bit that he didn't want to completely get into a rumble. It didn't turn into a Malice to the Palace type thing. Yeah. But he needs to. I think there was an article I was reading that same thing in the NFL sportsmanship for celebration. They were getting into possibly calling fouls for goading. Like, think
Yeah.
Tyronn Lue, Iverson stepping over Tyronn, like people stepping over other people and just flexing. Like, that type of behavior incites retaliation.
It does.
And then I get people, have some discipline. But like when you're dropping your fucking nuts in someone's face, of course, and it happens more than once. No.
Yeah, the most famous of that is when Scottie Pippen dunked on Patrick Ewing and just stood over him with his nuts just dangling in his face. And Patrick Ewing threw a punch up at him.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He teabagged. You can't stop a retaliation for that.
No, but you also, when you're somebody like Embiid, you can't be the goon on the squad. Hockey has goons for a reason. They're the guys that protect the star players and get the payback. Embiid, I think, likes to maybe take the role of the goon on our team, and other teams will take that trade all day long.
And that leads me to my second point. I think that if they can get him into more situations where he gets flagrants, he gets taken out of the series, and that's it. And then your best player's done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, watch the fouls, watch falling, watch the retaliation. You got to be smarter than that. But, luckily the with Game 4, how they sewed that up without him. I mean, Harris is looking great. Maxey's looking
fantastic. I love Maxey Foods. What a hit that was in the first round. I was talking with this with one of the guys I play basketball with of just how many whiffs and misses the Sixers have had during the process. Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor, Ben Simmons,
we could go.
Markelle Fultz. I mean, even like, how much would you like to have Miles Bridges on your team?
Dude, let me tell you, there's a couple different people that we missed on anyway. I mean, we were talking about Wiggins one time years ago. It would have been nice to have him, when he was fresh.
Donovan Mitchell, Tatum. But we had Miles Bridges. We drafted him number 15, and then 5 minutes later, we traded him to the Suns for what the hell was his name? He maybe played one game with us, and he was in the G League and just never did anything. We got rid of him 5 minutes after we drafted him. We got rid of Bridges, and
I have to look. I think I know who you're talking about.
Who did the Sixers trade Miles Bridges for? Zaire Smith.
That's it. Yes,
Zaire Smith.
And he played for a cup of coffee.
Basically, you had a proven commodity in Bridges who had a great college career. He was a polished player, won 2 national championships, had the big game experience. You're picking him at 15. What the fuck more do you want at 15? You're not going to get a superstar, but he's turning into a star. And, we could have had him on our team, and we did.
Well, I think that's the problem. I think they tried outsmarting themselves.
Yeah, they did.
Zaire Smith. They thought they had a better prospect. Yeah. They thought they'd be able to mold him quicker. I felt
younger. Zaire was young. I think he was.
Yeah, and then he was just too. Yeah, they did no, and then they were done with him.
He got sick. He had an illness. I remember. He lost a lot of weight. He got sick right after they drafted him, and I forget what the hell disease he got. He got something, and he lost like 25 pounds, and he just
a parasite, wasn't it?
It was something like that, but he just never recovered, and just to my knowledge, he never even made it. He was a number 16 pick. I couldn't even tell you where he is right now. I'm actually curious now if he's still playing.
What if he's in like the Euro? He's playing like EuroLeague and shit.
Let me see.
That'd be funny.
He's still only 23 years old.
Damn, that felt like that was like 5 years ago.
It really did.
Holy fuck.
He was on the Blue Coats for a little bit. Trying to see where he's at right now.
I haven't heard from him.
The last he was in the G League in 2021 with the Memphis Hustle, but he didn't play a game. So I guess he's out of the league at this point, and he's still young though. But yeah, that's God, that does feel like a while ago. And I think Markelle Fultz is still only like 23 or 24, and it feels like that he should be fucking 40.
That's how long this process is taking, and brings us and it circles us right back here. Like, is it going to be a failure if we don't get to at least the conference finals? Definitely, it's over.
It is over because no matter what, we're not re-signing Harden at $60 million a year. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, we did a whole thing on that.
Yeah, we can. I mean, so what? Then we have Embiid and Maxey, and that's maybe good enough to get us a 7 or an 8 seed, But we're not going to get past the first or second round of the playoffs with those two. And you're basically just right back in that NBA purgatory where you're not good enough to, go deep into the playoffs, but you're not bad enough to get a good lottery pick. And how long do you think Embiid will, stay in a good mood with that? How long will he tolerate that for?
And that leads to the point of, would you dump him while the stock is the highest?
Yeah, absolutely. If they go out next round, I'd fire Doc and I would start taking calls for trading Embiid, get maybe 4 or 5 first round draft picks and some players back, build a team around Melton, build a team around Maxey, and they got a couple pieces. And Patrick Reed's been looking good. Paul Reed.
Paul Reed, yeah.
Patrick Reed's a golfer. I always get them
Yeah.
confused.
Dude, did you see what happened down in Adelaide? I don't want to get too off. I know you want to keep this quick, but did you have to see it down in Australia when they were pouring the beer all over? What's his face? I forget they totally trashed like the course. Oh my god!
No,
It was
I
the
missed
funniest
it.
fucking
I gotta
thing.
check it out.
Yeah. Look up some of the highlights. It was really, dude. There was an ace. There was a couple cool things that happened down there at that Open.
I like when golf gets rowdy.
Dude, they were not peaceful down.
They have a golf course in Australia that I guess a typhoon came through several years ago, and it like completely flooded the course, and about like 10 bull sharks got trapped in a lake that's on the golf course, and then the water receded and they've been stuck there ever since. So they got like 10 bull sharks in like the lake system of this fucking golf course.
Dude, that sounds invasive as shit. I bet they like breed and like.
Yeah, they have a full breeding population of bull sharks on this golf course, and it's a crazy as shit because I mean they'll come right up to the edges because people feed them and all, when they're on the course. So as soon as they hear commotion, like they're in like a foot of water, just like right on the edge, just waiting.
Jesus Christ!
But we used to go. Me and Lisa used to go disc golfing on this golf course down in Florida, and it was on Alligator Creek, and there were gators, right there. I got some pictures of like a 10-foot gator just, right there where you're disc golfing.
Didn't you tell me there was a guy who used to go hunting for discs?
It was the homeless people. The homeless people would be in the water, diving underneath on all the courses, finding discs and just selling them to people on the course. And one of them about 2 years ago in Largo, we played that course a few times. He was diving down and a gator got him and drowned him right on the golf course. And it ain't no joke, man.
Let that be a lesson to any of our 4th and 26 fans in Florida, boy. If you're golfing, frisbee golfing, shit, even if we're just walking along.
Let it go.
Don't chase.
My God. And you know what? I've had to get close to the water. Like, you throw a disc in the water, but you still see it. It's maybe like 5 or 10 feet off of the shore. You get a big branch and you're kind of like in there, trying to do that. And the gators, they get right up to the front and you can't even see them. The water is really murky. I've been sketched out a few times there, like getting close to the water, and like I'll put the stick in the water and make like a huge commotion just to make sure there's nothing like right there before I even attempt it. But I'll find myself being like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like I'm really vulnerable right now. Like those things jump out of the water so quick.
Yeah, they're fast. They snap you.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to deal with gators. South Carolina has a lot of gators, but not upstate. It's too cold up here. The water systems are too cold and the elevation's a little too high. We don't have any gators within about like maybe 50, 60 miles of us. We don't have any like upstate here because
Okay.
I'm kind of near the mountains, so we don't have any yet. But I'm glad to get rid of them foods. I don't like them one bit.
Dude, they're dangerous, man. Dude, I wouldn't play around them. I mean, and the worst we got up here, are like, ticks, bugs, and shit. That's about it. But they're annoying. So
Yeah, like I don't like wildlife that can kill you.
yeah, I rather no, we don't have to deal with like wolves and bobcats and the gators and all that shit. I mean, go out west, try to play. There's bears out there.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, that's not cool at all. Oh
So,
God, we were watching. We're getting way off topic. I don't care. We were watching Cocaine Bear the other night, which was just absolutely ridiculous.
imagine playing around him.
I was trying to figure out what your shirt says. I see something society, possibly sarcastic, national sarcastic. All right, there we go.
Well, then we need yours. That's how I felt when we were trying to get the Cincinnati game going, or not. I'm sorry, the Colorado game moving, and everyone's like, "Come on, man, this game's over." And then they came back, dude. Let me tell you, it was looking good. It was nice to see like good hitting from like the meat of the lineup and like even the back end of the lineup. Like to see, Schwarber hitting, good leadoff ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's going to last, but as long as he can do some damage early, and if they're trying to walk him, like stuff like that, like make them pay. Make 2, 3, 4 guys got to make them pay.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the Phillies early on with their hitting, and then hopefully the pitcher go round into shape when everybody kind of gets healthy. I think we need to get a number 2, possibly number 3 starter. Everyone's going to be looking for the starters, but if we can get another solid middle of the rotation starter, by the trade deadline or at the trade deadline, I think that'll really help us because I think we got enough with our hitting. I think we got enough bats to get us there, but. We got to get over the hump with pitching because we really saw how pitching killed us against the Astros in the World Series.
And it was a shame because it came from like a lot of it came from our top guys. They need pitching and they need good conditioning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very important. Nice to see good defense. Don't overextend ourselves with another problem I saw was base running errors we were having, getting thrown out at third. Trying to overextend doubles, shit like that. Just that'll come over time. Take your time.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll finish this podcast off a little bit about the Eagles. The draft's finally upon us. It's looking like I may not be able to do a live one, Foods, with you, but we can definitely do a recap afterwards.
That's fine.
Which may be a little bit better anyway. That way we can, really kind of have the information already out there and just, kind of just go over things. But
first night, you know how it is. That first night's commotion anyway. It takes hours.
It does. It literally is like 4 hours. But are you going to be disappointed if they don't get Bijan?
No, I don't think so. I would like him, but I don't think I looked at it. I look at it this way. I would love to get him, but is he Is he necessary? Like super necessary?
No, he's a luxury. He's a luxury.
That's what I'm saying.
We got that number. I mean, how often do Super Bowl, almost Super Bowl winning teams get a number 10 pick? So maybe take a risk with that. It wasn't an expected pick that we were, necessarily planning for. So why not, take that chance?
Will he fall? I think Howie might pull some sort of magic.
I think so too.
I think they could even move up. Maybe they'll package the Fuji. You never know. That's why I love speculating.
Yeah, I think the more likely scenario is they move back from 10 to maybe like 14, 15, 16.
I was thinking 17. That was my sweet spot.
Yeah, I don't want to go
no lower.
But if we move back from like 10 to 15 to 17, get an extra second or third round pick out of it, then I think it makes sense that then we can draft him there.
And you got to look at it like this too. I don't want to give our division a lot of artillery either.
No, no, I don't. I don't want the Commanders a chance to draft them, or the Giants, or especially the Cowboys.
Pretty much our only real competition. I'm not gonna, I'm knocking on the wood there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't want to give anybody ammo. I want to as much block our divisional rivals as have good picks for us. Because if we win our division again, I think it's just automatic lock. You know what I mean? Like that. We'll be able to at least get to the conference final.
Yeah, yeah. I really think they want Jalen Carter, but I don't think he's going to be there. I think Seattle's going to scoop him up,
Yeah.
and you know,
Skaronski, they're talking about a
yeah.
bunch of Nolan Smith, a
Those
lot of
would
shit.
be good. Skoronsky would probably be the safest pick,
Yeah.
because obviously, we do need to replace some of our offensive line.
Said
So
Mala lost. Yeah, a lot of people.
that would be the smart pick, but picking Bijan says we want to win now during this next 5-year period. And because look at it this way, Foods, if let's say Rashad Penny gets hurt early in the year, do you really trust the rest of your season to Gainwell and Boston Scott and Trey Sermon? I mean, do you trust that?
Yeah, I mean, I love Boston Scott, but he can't do all that hard bell cow work. He can't.
No, and then you have the fact that these guys are all on like mostly 1-year contracts. So then next year we got to piece together another backfield. So wouldn't it be good to just get your guy for the next 5 years right now and not have to worry about that? I mean, that's something I don't hear a lot of people talking about. I mean,
dude, they have you. It's funny because every week leading up until we got here, people would have a position. This is like sports radio I'm speaking about. They'd have a position. And then callers would call up, and a few days later, their position would change. And it was a lot of oscillation, Foods. So you're getting a good mix. But at this point, a lot of people are saying that they love it, but they have to go with smart, like sure fixes. You know what I mean?
I know, but I don't want to have to piece together our backfield every year, because then what happens is Jalen Hurts ends up rushing 15, 18 times a game, and he's not going to last.
No, certainly not. And this is what I think Howie's really going to do, is just completely twist it around somehow. It's something we were never expecting, and we'll either love him or hate him, but there'll never be an in-between with Howie, ever.
Yeah. So I can't
comment
wait.
below 4th and 26. I want to hear what you guys, speculate. What you think's going to happen.
Nice, man. Well, that's good. We'll be back, guys, after the draft, or at least after the Eagles pick. Maybe the draft will still be going on. Maybe we'll be live, or on when the Eagles are picking their 30th pick, because this shit goes on forever. I don't think it starts till like 8:00, so this shit goes on to like midnight. So we'll be on doing some coverage of it and breaking down some of the picks for sure on Thursday. So we're going to be doing 2 this week. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We got some good feedback and a lot more views on our last podcast. So let's just keep this growing, guys. And thank you for your continued support. We'll be back with some post-draft coverage. All right, Beef, thanks for joining me, buddy.
You guys have a good Sunday.
Have a good one. All right.